Hello and welcome to,
Hey, we like your pod.
and we're going to tell you why I got a little distracted there, Matt. I
Oh
was
no.
like, oh, we're on. How you doing?
Oh,
It's
we're
so
doing a
good to
podcast.
see.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh, it's like I am just like that today. Just
Hmm.
uh, got a little ADHD. Is that ADHD-ish, sort of? Just
I am not qualified to diagnose that, so I
maybe like
I
a
don't know.
cat, like just
Yeah,
or maybe like a dog. I'm not sure.
kind
It's
of.
good to
Well,
see you. I'm
could be
really
that.
enjoying this Bills versus Texans
Oh my
game.
goodness, I
It's
didn't think it was such a
fun.
fun such a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. Definitely.
All right, well, we'll keep this short so we can get back to the game.
I want to see what happens in the second half. The first half was very entertaining.
Oh, so yeah, I hope it's the same. I mean, a lot of touchdowns, which we weren't necessarily expecting from the. I keep calling them the Cardinals because they're so red. I mean, that's a whole lot of red, that
There's a lot
uniform.
of red. Yeah, they're like devils out there. Is what I was. I keep thinking, man,
Ah,
they move like devils. They're so fast. The defense is, I
oh
mean,
yeah,
it's a good
yeah,
defense.
yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Well, how was your week, Maddie? What'd you think?
It's going well. Sort of the lead up to Thanksgiving week. My kids have off the whole week next week.
Mm,
I do not. I'm just taking Wednesday off, but then we have Thursday and Friday, as a just as a
mm-hmm.
matter of course, I guess. So work Monday, Tuesday, but looking forward to Thanksgiving. I figured out which version of a turkey I'm going to make this year. Just today, I ordered the turkey breast for it. We're just doing like turkey breast this year, and excited about that. The house is getting closer and closer to being like a real house. The kitchen is like livable, just needs some like reorg, but like I've been making food in it, which is awesome. Um,
Yay.
now it's just a matter of like getting some shelving in place, really, to like be able to put the things that are in boxes into a place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but every week it's like a little bit better and very encouraging. So I'm feeling good about that. Yeah,
Yay.
things are good. Things are good. Don, how about you?
Things are good. We had since I think last week we had the rain starting, the what do they call
Yeah.
it? The atmospheric river. I'm like, what is that? It was so weird, Maddie, because it was like several days of misting. Like it wasn't really rain. We don't get the kind of storms you get in
Yeah.
inland or yeah. And but I bought a rain gauge last year because I'm a
Mhm.
dork and I love rain and it's very rare. It's like a rare thing. So it's like a rare diamond and it's like, wow, there's like an inch and a half of rain and it's just misting. So it's really good for the plants and all that was great. And then we had some heavier rain,
Mhm.
which I enjoyed. And all totaled for those several days of rain, it was almost 4 inches.
Which is a lot. I mean, like anywhere that's a lot, not just
It's
for
a
you.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some places will get that in a couple days. It took us a few days. But for us, that's like half of our normal rainfall for a whole year. So for our drought, it's really great. And then it started to rain this afternoon again a little bit. So
Hmm.
we're going to have tonight and a little bit tomorrow morning. So I'm just this is so fun. It's very wet though. Like my plants are like really soggy and but I'm
Mhm.
sure they'll be fine because as soon as the rain's gone, it'll be like that desert hot sun. So,
So
yeah, I
after the
love it.
rain, I think you told me before that like little like plants sprout up all over the place, right?
Yes,
Grass and
yes.
flowers and stuff, just kind of all of a sudden.
Indeed, indeed. And because it's you have to water so much. It's almost impossible to water enough here
Mhm.
because it's not that it's hot here. We don't have hot where I am. It's not hot. It's just the sun is real hot. And it's not it's sort of like a dry heat, but we're on the ocean, so it's sort of there's moisture there. It's just kind of a weird climate because it's like a desert Mediterranean climate, but right on
Mhm.
the water, so there's moisture for that. So it's hard to regulate water for your garden. It takes
Ah,
a while to figure it
yes,
out. Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, oh. So, yeah. So, how's our chat doing tonight, Joe?
you're being
True
funny.
North.
Joe's making a reference here.
What is that?
Oh, Silence of the Lambs. Joe, have you seen there's a musical called Silence that's like the musical of Silence of the Lambs. It is
Oh,
hilarious. Would recommend.
oh,
Very crude, very funny. And our friend True North says Matt's background reminds me to watch Shawshank Redemption again. Yes, yes, indeed. I've been thinking I need to like hang like a Packers flag or something back here. I could hang that from like the rafters or something. Could make it look a little less hostage video for sure. But yeah, we're not at that part. We're not at the decorating phase of the house yet. We're still at the putting things into places and figuring out solutions for that. So
yeah.
well, I'll get something in here eventually, make it look homey. But for now, I know it does look.
I don't mind it at all.
Industrialized.
I
I think the
like
word.
yeah, I don't mind it. I'm just glad you're here and able to do it. If I were there local, I would do murals for you. I would paint for
Ooh,
you.
that'd be
That
amazing.
that would be so great.
That'd be
Yeah, I
cool.
just thought of it just now because you were talking about, having to bolt or whatever you have to do into concrete. It's not like you have a regular drywall behind you. So
Yeah.
painting would be fun.
I
Yeah,
was thinking about painting, except I don't have like any kind of particular skill for it. It would probably just
right.
look janky if I tried to do it. But yeah, I mean,
Mm.
Don, just a short drive to Cincinnati from where you're at,
Yeah,
surely,
short
right?
drive.
So short several day drive to get here.
You know what you could do, Maddie? Do you have a projector?
I was thinking about that actually, because um,
Project an image and then just
yeah, pretty much, and then kind of yeah.
yeah, maybe your girls would even help you. That'd be fun.
They're both really artistic. My older kid even
Yeah.
tested as gifted in art. Very proud father. And
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she'd really get into it. I don't know. Things to think about. Things to think about,
Things to
Don.
think about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Maddie. Well, it's so good to see you, True North, and so we're talking about two different films that I'm not sure I even saw. I probably saw them both, but I remember absolutely nothing.
Oh, Don. See, they're both so good. You should see them
I
both again.
remember nothing. I'm just that way. So I hope you guys are doing great and ready to talk Packers. It's time for this week's superlatives.
This time, Don. This time I was ready for it, but it still cracked me up. I knew it was coming. I was ready for it. I braced myself, and it still made me laugh. I
I
love it.
like Dusty's idea about having my little head
Yeah.
floating on the video. I'm going to do that. That sounds super fun. Well, Maddie, speaking of superlatives, I have a few. Do you have a few?
I have a few. I have three exactly. Do you have three?
I think I have a bonus, so I'll get started.
Ooh, go for
So,
it.
real quick, most fun, Matt Ramage goes to New York. Have you followed Matt and his trip to New York last week
I
for the
saw some of his posts on probably on Twitter. I think is where I saw them. Pretty hilarious. Yeah.
the videos and the pictures? Yes. Okay.
hmm
So,
hmm
I mean, it was just delightful. First of all, Matt is a great content creator for the Packers, a big Packers fan from Wisconsin. He went to the Giants game in New York. This was his first trip to New York, but it was also his first plane ride.
That's right. Yeah. I
Yes.
did see that. Yeah.
It was so fun, and he just loved New York, and I really had fun watching him love New York because I love New York City.
hmm
So he spent time in the city, even though the Giants game was wherever that is, the Meadowlands. But then he came back to the city, and I could not get tired of watching him enjoy. He was just like a kid, all lit
hmm
up for yeah. So, so that's most fun to Matt. Then
Yeah,
one
Matt
of these,
Ramage brings a sort of like childlike wonderment to everything he does. I feel like,
yes,
not like kids that go out there, getting drunk or anything like that. Because I think of him as
no.
a guy who likes to go on air buzzed, so not drunk per se, but you know, but that brings out that like that joy and that sort of
Hmm.
I think the word is like this is gonna sound weird, but mirthfulness. He has great mirthfulness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Maybe that's not a word, but that seems to fit it. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and I saw a couple of things, and it made me just kind of smile, like you're saying, Don.
right.
He's a delight, that guy.
Yeah, he is, but this was especially a delight. I just was so happy I caught it. So, and he had it all chronicled on Facebook, and I go on Facebook every morning to get in touch with my mother and my sister. That's our vehicle for our messaging, and so I and I usually message my niece. She really loves Facebook, and so we share reels. I send her funny reel, like cat
Hmm.
videos or fashion things. She's into fashion too, so she's also an artist. So yeah, and so when you can't help it, but then they're like feeding you reels, and I was so
Hmm.
happy. It's like, oh yay, I got to see something I really wanted, because there's so many things I don't want to see. All right,
Seriously.
what's your first one, Maddie?
Yeah, I was gonna say real quickly before I go to it here. I think one of my favorite things about Matt Ramage is that he's sponsored by Quick Trip. I mean, how cool is that? That's
Yes,
he's that
yes.
awesome that he's sponsored by Quick Trip. That's amazing. I'm
It
jealous.
is. It
So,
is.
all right,
We
my
need
first
to
one
have
is
him here sometime. We need
we
to have
should
him on
actually.
the
It's kind of
show.
criminal that we haven't asked him on
I
yet.
know. I know. I thought
True
about
North
that
is telling us
again.
that mirthfulness is a word. Thank you for fact checking that. I was kind of doubting myself on that, but I was just gonna go with it either way. So thank you, True North.
Matt's sense of mirth.
Yes, sense of mirth. Yes, I like that too. So anyhow, my first one
Mm-hmm.
is best and funniest perspective. So every week I watch Tom Grassi's. If the NFL is scripted,
Mm-hmm.
he has so much great stuff out there. Beyond that, of course, but he
Yes.
did kind of a special video this week along with the typical stuff, which was the NFC North after Week 11, and it was hilarious because it started with like, before the season starts, here's like each of the teams kind of talking about how they're going to be doing and like kind of being a little bragging about it and stuff like that, being
Mm-hmm.
kind of cocky.
Mm-hmm.
And then cut to currently where the Bears are in first place in the North and the Lions are in third, and so the way how there's the contrast between what we expected was going to happen before the season started versus where things are now. And I don't think the Bears are going to be on top for long, by the way. I don't think they're going to make it to the playoffs. But
Yeah.
still,
Yeah. Yeah.
right now, they're on top. And of course, Tom has this sort of a bit going with the because the Pope is from Chicago, right? Where the Bears are like
Right.
the Pope
Right.
now, like in his videos,
Right.
which makes it extra funny.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really like because I didn't stop to think about what all the teams were expecting to happen this year, before the season started,
Mm-hmm.
and how crazy that contrast to like the state of things right now in the NFC North. So like, great observations, great perspective, but also hilarious, of course, because Tom Grossi is hilarious. So I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed that one this week. That was a good one.
I missed it. I caught quite a bit of his content this week, but not that, and I'll have to go back. But you know, I don't. Anything can happen. So the Bears could
Yeah.
end up first in the division. I wouldn't rule that out. But I think that's just reflective of the league, pretty much the entire league, with very few exceptions. There's just been a lot of surprises, a
Hmm.
lot of up and downs, a lot of roller coaster ish stuff.
Roller
And
coaster.
I just feel like the rankings for the top seed all the way down are not necessarily reflective at this point, especially at this point, which they normally are starting to sort out
Hmm.
in the ranking, reflective of how the teams really are, talent wise or potential to really take off. So I wouldn't, I mean, I think, so what I mean to say is I believe the Bears deserve to be first right now because they won those games.
I
So,
mean, yeah, record
yeah.
says definitely.
So no shade to the Bears, but yeah, like the Lions are definitely seem to be a stronger team,
Hmm.
and they're in third. So it's just,
Yeah,
yeah, and the whole
it's a
league
crazy
is so
year. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, well, very difficult to predict, which I really like.
Hmm.
I really like it. I mean, just looking at our favorite team, the Packers, it's just really they've been very hard to predict too. It's
Hmm.
not what we expected. So it's going to be an interesting last third of the season, which is what we're looking at now. So
It goes too fast, Don.
I know it's terrible this year, especially.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is most realistic. And this is a quote from our Matthew Golden. You're never going to be 100%. So he was interviewed and made an appearance on Clubhouse Live, which is put on by USA Today Network, and they have a Wisconsin version of that.
Hmm.
And so it was a YouTube Live, and they're probably in other places too. But he basically was saying everybody's playing injured pretty much the whole season, but especially at this point. And but when he said that, that's what he was talking about, okay? But I was thinking there is no such thing as perfection. No one's ever going to be 100% on anything because
Mhm.
we're not machines.
Right.
Even the best athletes can be really good at things can make mistakes. And so I just thought it was wise, and I appreciated getting to know him a little bit on that live stream. And check it out for sure. I think he's made two appearances and has one left, I think they said during the live stream. So, but yeah, you're never going to be 100%. So whether you're looking at football
Mhm.
and the crazy roller coaster nature of football, or just in your personal life, that's kind of wise words.
It is, and it's like one of those things that's deceptively simple. You're like, well, yeah, of course. When you start to think about it, it's like, yeah, just like,
Mm-hmm.
going to work every day. I mean, am I always at 100%? Like, no, definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
In my ability to like focus on my kids when I'm home, I'm always like 100% with that. No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. Like, I should strive for that, but I think at
Right.
the same time, there's like having the grace, like giving yourself the grace, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just to know that though we should all strive to be,
Yeah.
the best versions of ourselves we can.
Mm-hmm.
Also understanding, like, you're never going to be 100%.
You're
Absolutely.
never going to be, and I think it makes the experience of being fan a little bit more enjoyable. I got really
Yeah.
annoyed because one of my friends texted me and she's like, you know, the Packers defense stunk. And I'm like, oh, that's a bit extreme. Have you seen the rank? Like, do you know what you're
Hmm.
talking about? And then she was saying, oh, I said, did you watch the game? That was my response.
Seriously.
And she didn't. She watched the highlights. And I knew she
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
because I knew she
Hmm.
was doing something else at that time. So I was like, I didn't even answer after that because people are people. But I think that all this vitriol and this irritation by fans,
Hmm.
fans need to remember too that no one's ever going to be 100%.
Yeah.
No one, ever.
Don, that segues really nicely into my next superlative, if I may.
Awesome. Yes.
So my next one, one of the things that I think we've noticed in the last, especially 2 weeks, is there's been a lot of people. I'm just gonna say it on casuals, who have been saying, "Oh, Jordan Love's not the guy. He's not a good quarterback. He's not good in clutch situations." Obviously, we know that's incorrect. And so there have been a lot of like content creators and a lot of content this last week that were people saying, "Look, here's proof that
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love is good, and y'all being stupid about it. Like, he's actually extremely good quarterback." And so
Yeah.
one of the best pieces of persuasive evidence for that, so I'm going to say best analysis here, was, and this should come as no surprise, who's going to give us the best analysis about what good quarterbacking he's doing, but of course JT O'Sullivan with the quarterback school. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we
He's
always
so
try to,
good.
like, recognize your smaller creators and stuff like that, but like, this is one that you got to go and watch. It's such a
Yeah.
good breakdown of what was actually like an extremely good game from Jordan Love. And he makes this point again and again, like, Jordan Love can't go out there and catch the balls for the receivers. He can't do that, but he's putting them in places where it's like, we know, they said on the broadcast, you can tell there's a lot of drops, like a crazy number of drops, and that is not Jordan Love's fault because he had those balls right where they were supposed to be. Like, I think
Right.
I hazard to say probably every single time. So, as always, JT O'Sullivan, an amazing, breakdown of all these really
Yeah.
cool things, what he's doing well, like little moments that could have gone better, of course.
Sure.
Um, every time I watch that, I'm just sitting there like just soaking it in, learning stuff, like just the little details that he's able to pick up on and
Mm-hmm.
talk about. And plus, since this game had that fun, like, Malik Willis cameo for a drive, he got to
Right.
like talk about his touchdown throw as well, which was
Yeah.
fun to kind of see that and how that
Yes.
worked out. So, yeah, I mean, it's always good watching this stuff, but especially after a game like this where the
Mm-hmm.
haters were saying Jordan Love's not good, but actually,
Oh,
and it was his highest like PFF grade. I don't know if it was ever for a game or if it was just this season, but it was like an extremely highly
right.
graded game from, and I know they're not gospel, blah, blah, blah. People always have to say that, from PFF. So, um,
Right.
it's like, and this is coming to me from out of nowhere. It's like Giselle Brady said, "My husband can't throw and catch the ball." No, True North just said that in the chat. Uh, Credit to True North for that. So yeah, indeed, indeed.
I like that. Yeah, JT, and I like the way he breaks the film down. It's very
Hmm.
simple, no fluff, very
Hmm.
knowledgeable. He's a great follow. He's a great follow. Well, how about most sobering?
Ooh.
Yeah, there was an article you might have heard about from Tom Silverstein, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel,
Hmm.
about the Green Bay Packers' upcoming free agency class, and that's called Contract Projections Drop for 2026 Packers free agents. Of course, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We
No,
want to
no.
enjoy the season, enjoy the Super Bowl, all of that. But it came up. It's been coming up here and there, and you got to think about it because, the Packers
Hmm.
particularly went all in, and what does that look like? And there were two things that I want to point to. One, there was a conversation between Andy Herman and Justice Mosqueda on Andy's channel.
Hmm.
I believe that was today or yesterday. He actually brought this up, but Justice also wrote about Tom's article and broke it down and weighed in on it. And it's really good. And so Justice, of
Okay.
course, writes for Acme Packing. And but I liked Justice's take on this because he brought in Ken Ingalls, who was on my mind right away when all the well, actually, I've been thinking about checking him. He's on Twitter, so yeah, I don't see him anymore. But he outlines the 2027 draft picks. I know, too early, but still, in for the pack as it stands now, and he points out how the Packers might, and I think likely avoid any free agent acquisitions this coming year in 2026,
Hmm.
and then to hold on to as many compensatory draft picks that they can get in
Hmm.
2027. So, and then his take also emphasized how market trends and salary cap growth, which is we need more more salary cap, make it more, influence free agent pricing. So he really had a nice take on Tom's article. So I recommend reading them both, but especially for backups and not superstar players. So
Hmm.
because we have some really good players that we'll be keeping. Right. So, because all of the players on the team matter, it's not, and I used to get so annoyed about the Aaron Rodgers this and Aaron Rodgers that, and he won the, no, it's the team. It's the team. And I
Yes.
just feel like now the Packers are more team centric, even though they do have a superstar quarterback. So, because they all matter, everyone who plays, everyone who pitches in, everyone who's a backup. You mentioned Malik Willis, for example. I mean,
Hmm.
what a luxury to be able to have him.
Oh,
He's,
yes.
yeah. So, three of the top ones that are going to be, up for free agency that we might lose is Malik Willis.
Hmm.
Of course, Romeo Dobbs, we all know that.
Right, right.
And then Rasheed Walker is another big one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
So it's just, appreciate these guys while we have them and
Hmm.
and realize there's a big picture. And one of the things I was thinking about too, Justice actually mentioned, I believe this is I can't remember if it's in the article or in conversation with Andy, but when a team, there are like these, maybe it was Andy who mentioned it, but it's like there are these waves of things that happen when a team goes all in. It's not just
Hmm.
that year. eh, you want, okay, this is the year for the Super Bowl and all that, but it can be, but it's sort of ebbed up to this point and it
Yeah.
will ebb and flow maybe down, and there might be some sparse years coming up, but you just never know what can happen, especially with these lower paid backups and people that can break out too. So yeah, just a really good article, kind of sobering, but
Hmm.
also good to keep in mind. Um, while we watch these players, maybe some of these players won't be on our team, and maybe some of them will. There might be some surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, Justice. He's so awesome.
he's so
Um,
good.
I haven't listened to this week's. I think they call it the aftermath is the Andy and
Yeah, yeah,
Justice
yeah.
conversation every week. But it's the
Hmm.
next thing on my queue on my podcasts.
I
They're
like
always
it.
so good. I'm so glad that they like started doing a regular
Hmm.
show with the two of them together. And of
Hmm.
course, yeah, I like that we can say friends of the show, Andy Herman and Justice Mosqueda.
That's
Um,
right.
but
Friends of our show.
yeah,
Yes, and
I'm gonna
they're
check that
even
out.
good planning on going on next Thursday, even though it's a holiday. They talked about that, how they're going to arrange their lives to make that happen.
That's very
So,
kind of them.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm kind of glad that the Packers are playing in the morning. So,
mhm.
yeah, we can take in all of our content and get on with our days and do whatever we're going to do later on that day too. So,
I like that 'cause I can do some cooking while I have the game on my phone, having some meal prep stuff going on. So it's a good deal. I like that.
yeah, yeah. Well, Maddie, so that was my bonus.
Oh, that's your
Is
one.
like,
Okay, nice. All right, well, I
yeah.
have one last one. It's actually a pretty quick one. So we were talking about, people defending Jordan Love this week, and with all the like in-depth breakdown that JT O'Sullivan did, one of the plays I think was encapsulated even more tightly by this one tweet I saw, and it's crazy. This is an account I only just started following because I saw this tweet. Not a person I was familiar with, and in fact, this tweet was just like a response, like in a comment section to something that Bill Huber wrote. So I was just like, "Wait, this is gold. Why is this just like lingering in a replies in a comment section?" So the account Andrew Smith, the handle at Mr. Whiskey 365,
Mm-hmm.
great handle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read this off. You can kind of break it down as I'm reading it. Okay, so he said, "I wanted to take a moment. I should tell you real quickly. He has like the um, all 22 of the pass that Romeo Dobbs missed, like on the sideline, where Jordan Love had to like
Mm.
scramble for his life and almost got killed by one of the people
Oh
on the
God,
side.
and then he
So
dropped it. Yes.
yeah, all this and then he drops it.
Oh.
So okay, so
Yeah.
it said Andrew Smith said, I wanted to take a moment to appreciate the bull Love goes through just in one play. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
Watson and or Golden running the same route. So it wouldn't
Mm.
JT O'Sullivan's talking about it. It might be that they're running the same route confused, or might be a very like interesting, tight little offensive move. It's a little unclear. I think there's some debate, some room for debate on it. So
Mm.
one, Watson and or Golden running the same route. Two, tight end whiffs the block. This is a thing where, so I know I keep coming
Oh,
back to this, but JT O'Sullivan is like, this is how quarterbacks get killed, is by missing
yeah.
a block like this. You can't miss this block.
Yeah. It was bad.
So two, tight end whiffs the block. Three, Love sends edge player to knees, because that was the thing. So the guy who the tight end missed, I don't know who it was who he missed. He was getting close to Love. Love makes this amazing, like almost like he glitches to the side, and so then
Mm-hmm.
the defender like falls to his knees trying to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's an amazing move. It's so cool. And
Yeah.
so three, Love sends the edge player to his knees. Four, Dobbs drops a dime all in about 4 seconds.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
happened
Jordan,
so bad.
be better. Like amazing. Andrew Smith, whoever you are out there, well
Yeah.
played. I need to find more of your stuff in random comment sections because that was gold. That was great.
Why were there so many drops?
Oh,
That's not
who
normal.
knows?
Like that was wild. Like was the Vaseline on the ball or like what? It was really strange.
It was because it wasn't rainy. It was a super, super windy day. I know that, like
Yes.
super windy, but
Maybe
it's getting to their hands. So I don't
mm,
think the wind's affecting it at that last,
it could
millisecond
be.
when
I
they're
mean,
supposed
if
to
it's
put their hand
windy
on
and
it.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's weird. That was weird.
I'm hoping it was just like just a strange, anomaly, an outlier, a weird, coincidence
Mm-hmm.
that it happened a bunch. I'm hoping that's all it is, and it's not like, oh, we're back to being, a dropping team like last year. Remember that was really bad, and it was like much better for most of this year. So hopefully it's just isolated, weird game for that, and then we move past it, and then we're
Yeah,
catching stuff again. Hopefully,
I think so. I think
I,
so.
yes, I'm gonna
Just,
manifest it done. Yes, that's what it is.
I think so. All right, Maddie. Well, hey, any final thoughts before we bring this home? Get back to the game?
No, I mean just that we're getting into a really interesting part of the schedule where we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
fighting our NFC North opponents in
Mm-hmm.
much more greater frequency than we have so far in this season, having only had one of those games right at the outset.
Yeah.
So this is the real stuff, Don. We're
Yeah.
getting like the real games. Who's going to be who's going to emerge at the top of the hill in the NFC North?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the time to really get into it, really enjoy it.
Right.
You know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so let's get excited. Let's get excited about football.
Get excited
Unlike most days.
and enjoy it. Like how much fun is it to just be what I mean to just be negative and
Ugh.
I mean I trust me, I get upset and
Hmm.
disappointed when we lose or when mistakes are made and all that. But it's like to focus on that, I don't get it. Like I don't get how you can sit in your living room, probably never did anything athletic in your life and have these takes.
Uh-huh.
It's wild. So enjoy it, have fun with it. Yeah.
Indeed. All right,
Yeah,
Don.
dig in.
Well, I will bring her home here, okay?
Yeah, let's bring her home, Maddie.
Friends, we'd love to have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber and a football fan. If you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the social platforms. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us to keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow is by sharing it with your
Yes,
friends and
Maddie.
family.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Maddie, that's right. Because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and had the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you next week on
Hey, we like your pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.
I forgot.